Good evening, I'm Anna Jabłońska and welcome to Poland Daily Business. Due to its intensive development, LOT Polish Airlines will need to recruit more pilots. The national carrier intends to hire 300 of them by the end of next year. In the first round of recruitment, more than 1,000 applicants came forward, including around 100 Polish pilots currently working for foreign airlines, but interested in returning to the country because of LOT's expansion. Currently, LOT flies on 104 routes. Staying on the subject of air travel, Irish low-cost airline Ryanair will start scheduled cruises from Poland through its Ryanair Sun company, headquartered in Warsaw. As of March 2019, the carrier will increase its number of aircrafts from 5 to 20. Ryanair's decision to expand its base in Poland is the result of a conflict between the carrier, pilots and onboard personnel. In the summer, as a result of workers' protests, Irish airlines were forced to cancel hundreds of flights. Experts believe that the decision to transfer scheduled flights to the Polish company is a smart move that should avoid future protests. 59% of Poles are confident about Poland's economic future, the highest rate among countries surveyed in a new Pew Research Center study. According to 69% of the respondents, the country's economy is in good shape. The figure is much higher than when the study was conducted in 2009, at the height of the global economic slowdown. Then only 29% of Poles had a positive outlook. Meanwhile, pessimism is widespread in 18 out of 27 countries surveyed. As many as 80% of the French, 76% of the Japanese and 72% of Spaniards said their children would be financially worse off compared to themselves when they grew up. Thank you for watching Poland Daily Business. Coming up next, Aleksander Wierzejski and his guests. Good night.
Poland Daily Business Edition. We are in Katowice in Electromobility Conference, and Mr. Hakan Agnevall of Volvo Buses is our guest. Sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.
It's a fantastic place here in Katowice, and we are talking about future, about electric buses.
Yes.
And do we already know how this electric bus will look in the future? Will this be battery-driven, automatically controlled bus, or this is still being decided?
There will be several solutions for the future, but I would say electric buses using electric batteries will be one of the major ways forward. I think we see a clear global trend for that. What is exciting, there is a lot of things happening in Poland, supported by the government, the regions and the city. We actually think that Poland has an opportunity to position itself as a leader in electromobility for public transport going forward.
Right, because the public transport is like the most economic way of commuting from point A to point B, and your company is doing a lot in the issue, and particularly in Poland. So let's say a few words about the Volvo buses, that Swedish name, but Polish manufacturer.
Yes, I mean, we have our R&D center and manufacturing center for whole of Europe in Wrocław. So it means that we are developing the future electromobility in Wrocław, actually. And we've been in Poland for over 20 years now. So when we talk about the future solution, it's very much developed here in Poland.
Right. We have, let's say, 100% of city buses. What percentage of those are electric buses right now in Europe?
In Europe, I still would say it's around 10%, but it's growing very rapidly.
You can see it by the orders from your customers that they require more and more electric buses?
Yes, I have the privilege to travel in Europe, all over the world. I think for the mayors of the world, there is one really crucial issue today, and that is air quality. So every mayor in every city is trying to improve the air quality because people are dying from poor air quality. And then many cities in the world, they are looking, how do we create a sustainable public transport? And this is where electromobility plays in. And it's a strong discussion in Europe. I know it's a strong discussion in Poland, but it's a global discussion that is ongoing.
Well, if you look at any mobile device, we look at the cost that is being paid over the period of exploitation. So the initial purchase is only part of it. The whole circle is much more important. How the electric bus compares to the old kind of diesel bus?
I mean, the electric bus is in an initial acquisition is more costly, for sure. But then to operate an electric bus over a 10-year period is much less costly. So we talk about the life cycle cost, and that is now getting on par, I would say, with diesel buses.
And there is also lower service costs for electric buses?
In general, there are less service costs. The other thing, however, that you need to consider is the charging infrastructure. And the charging infrastructure is a very important piece of the whole system. That's the difference between an electric bus and a diesel bus. The electric bus is a system, and you need to have a system approach.
The most important part of the electrical car or bus is the battery. Do you source the battery in Europe, or you are for importing batteries from China?
I mean, today there are, I would say, 3, 4, a handful of major battery providers, and most of them are in Asia, so we source there. But there are a lot of initiatives in Europe to establish battery manufacturing going forward. So we will see what the future will bring.
Okay, is Poland also a place considered to be a source of electric batteries?
Well, we will see where these big players, they put up their battery factories. That will decide where we will source.
Because this is the key issue. Mr. Hakan Agnevall of Volvo Buses here in Poland was our guest, sir.
Thank you very much.
And that was it for Poland Daily Business tonight.